Okay, we'll try it. All right. Oh boy, I have been working all day, reading, testing, loading, experimenting, and I think I'm pretty close. So I've got a, you can barely see this, but that's the battery charger. That's the battery. This is the power that goes into the soundboard, the Wemos. This is a new device I've added, had to add it. It's a capacitor. This is the amplifier circuit with the speaker. You might notice a few extra resistors and wires. That's for a new sound capability. I had it. I just turned it on. I'm going to add different sounds, but you'll hear the capability, okay? And so far, the logic is not too bad. When the circuit to the Wemos is open and the transformer is off, the charger will turn itself off. However, if we turn on the Wemos, the charger wakes up, gets battery power, and sends it over. Or, that's bouncing because I had my two fingers in there, coming and going. Okay, now, if I unplug this, this system is down. The charger is sensing there's no load now. It takes about 10 seconds and he goes to sleep. That saves the battery power from draining when the Wemos is not in use. And I'm using Wemos because that's the manufacturer of this board that has the microprocessor that we're using for all of the sound, okay? So he's going to go out real quick, I think. There he went. He was out now. So there's no transformer and there's no draw. Now I'm going to put on the transformer, and you can see we have our 5 volts coming in reliably from the transformer. No matter what power is at the transformer, it's only, here's the rectifier, DC in, only 5 volts out. And 5 volts comes over to the charger, and he's charging the battery. The Wemos button is not turned on yet. Now, one theory is you get a button on the engine and you turn on the Wemos. Another theory is that we have a device called a relay, and the relay senses, one end of the relay senses energy going to the motor of the engine, and it closes the other relay contacts, and that turns on Wemos, so that there is no switch. I don't have that part. I'm searching for it, and I've asked Andy to help, but I think there is such a part, because that circuit is separate from this circuit. That's track power going through the other controller, the motor controller, and that would always be off unless there's power asked for. And when it's turned on, it could energize a relay and close this link to the Wemos, to the charger, so that it would be automatically turned on anytime you had energy to the battery, so that if you stopped somewhere on the track and you weren't powering the engine, the motor, it may, in 10 or 15 seconds, drain that circuit or shut that circuit off. I don't know yet. We'll have to see how that works. That just could be part of the operation. Anyway, so now it's up. We're pulling power in. We're using battery power if we need to. We have a whistle. We have a bell. And we have a chuff. I can't do it fast enough, but this is really good. I've learned how to wire it, how to adjust it, and I think this is going to be awesome for us. And the fan is tracking perfectly with what we want it to do. Now the two new sounds that I've added, I'll just put them here and I'll play it just real quick. And now that's European, British. They have a whistle, which means get on the train, it's leaving. And then, of course, the all aboard announcement you're familiar with. I'm going to rewrite instructions for sound. I'm going to create my own sound. And this can be specific to, for example, Leon's Royal Blue. I could have a signal when we hear this, instead of the whistle or all aboard, I could put arriving at track number 3, the Baltimore and Ohio Royal Blue Express, something like that. And then on the other one, I could say then all aboard to the Royal Blue, track 3, all aboard. And then that would be the two sound bites. You could have a station announcement, and then you could have an all aboard, get on the train, we're leaving announcement. In addition to, and chuff. Okay, that's the plan. Now I just put this pin into this thing and I ground the signal. You grind it, you give it a ground and then it plays. That's what these buttons do to those signals. I don't know. I don't really have a good idea yet on how to make that happen. I have an idea. I don't know if it'll work, so I don't even want to talk about it. But I'm going to try to come up with a way that we can make those play either from a track device, that's on the track, like a uncoupler button or something like that, or something handheld. I don't know yet. We're still playing with it. But the sounds are there. I'm just going to change them and add them, and then eventually we'll figure out how to invoke them, okay? So I wanted you to see where we are, what we got, what's happening, and we're okay, all right? I have board 7, we have board 4, we have board 5, and we have board 3. So I have 4 working boards programmed and ready to go. And I have 2 more that are sort of like in the OR at the Roundhouse. I may be able to recover them. We think it's their amplifiers, which is this red board. And if I take it out and put in a new one, the board itself appears to be working fine. So we may try those 2 and see if the amp's fried. And that would give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boards for engines. So I definitely would be in good shape. I have new ones, but I'm trying to consolidate what can I get in. And in fact, 7 and 5 are new boards. 4 is an old board. I'll probably put 7 in Leon's and 5 in the Atlantic for Huck. And then I'll take 4 for my anniversary 356. And I got to do a K5, right? And probably another Atlantic or a Pacific. We'll see. Anyway, pretty good day. It took a while to read and understand and play with and figure it out, and find everything I needed and program it and read more and whatnot. But God, I feel good. Fell in the ditch, came out, had mud in the tire, got the mud out, and ordered some new parts. And by golly, the charger and the infrared really work well. This is a nice tight package, so it's small. If I can shrink this, I will. I have a smaller one, but you know what? It's so small, it like scares me. It's so small. How can that little thing replace all of that? Well, it doesn't have the dial or the meter, but it takes up to 22 volts and gives him 5, I think, or something like that. That's the design of it. I think that's pretty scary. I don't know. I already fried one, so I have 2 more. I'll test them, but what I may do is go back to my old style. It's not like this. It's a little bigger than this, and they're red, but I have blue and red. I may go back to an old style buck boost board, but it's still something easier to package. We really can't use this guy. I bought it for my lab setup here, and that's what I'm going to use it for. But it's too big for what we want to do. Anyway, oh boy. I think we got it. All right, I'll button this up, post it. You guys can look it over. And I'm thinking tomorrow I'm going to get back on Leon's engine. He has a wheel that needs to be moved about 10 degrees. And I will be putting his engine back together and mounting the various parts in a tender chassis. And I know I have his tender, so I know exactly the size of space that I'm going to be able to have. And it's the elongated what's wrong with my brain? Tender from the Royal Blue. So that's exciting. Okay, that's the show. I'll unplug this as if we shut the motor off, or the engine off, okay? So the Wemos is off, and I shut the transformer off, and you'll see, I think you can see those red lights. I hope you can, maybe not. Those wires in the way, they will go out in about 3, 2, 1.5, 1 1/4, 1 1/5. It'll go out. It's gonna go out. There you go. All right. Okay. It's pretty good. I'm gonna call this release 1 A. And what you heard and what you saw is what's going to be in there. Different sounds, but this is basically the kit. It's what I'm going to put together. Put together 4 or 5 of them, build some engines, and we're rolling. I'm very happy. I'm hoping to talk Margaret into a Bailey's. I think all of us have earned it. Oh, there's the right kind of buck boost that could replace this one. I may try it, make sure that's exactly right before I go. All right, gang, that's it. I'm posting. Later.